let's get started. We saw how to use an external link. So our external link is script.js. You can call it main.js or whatsoever. How about if we have many files? For instance, if I have, for instance, some data kind. Let me show you something. I may go to JavaScript for everyone, GitHub, JavaScript for everyone. JavaScript for everyone is already here. And you may get actually lots of data there. I think I'm interested in one of the data, countries data. I may select this like this, all the way down. As you can see, it's big. Copy, and then I put it here. Then countries.js, and then I will save it here. As you can see, it's just stored like this inside a square bracket. You don't have to know this, but we have the data, and this data is stored in the name countries, and the name of the file is also countries. So the way we import is actually you import it, script again, and source, the file name countries.js. Then if you want to access the value of the countries, console.log countries. By now I should get all the countries list. Have you seen them? From Afghanistan to Zimbabwe. Yeah, we should see that. If you see, the last country should be Zimbabwe, most probably. Yes. So you can use multiple scripts and you can access it like this. So we saw inline styling, inline script, and we saw also where exactly to put the script, at the body or at the head. And finally, we chose to put it inside the body. But even the most preferable way is actually creating an external file and linking it to here in the body. So we prefer to use external file. So now let's talk about, now this is since too much, so let me comment it out for the time. This is just, I commented it out, and now let's move on to the second section, and that is variables. Okay, and then after variables, if we have time, we will talk about data types, and after that we close the lesson. Data types. Okay, is there anyone who could be volunteer to say something about data types? Because sometimes, you know, it's not only the teacher, you may also say something and share what it means.
Just a way to communicate better with the computer.
Can you say it again?
Like a way to distinguish between input you're giving the.
Yes, I think your voice was a bit breaking, but I got what you said. Yes, it's a way to stick into the data, or maybe it's a way to store data. So these variables are actually containers, different containers, just container 1, container 2. Please stop for doing that. Container 2 or container 3. It continues. So it's a memory space in which we store data. Maybe I think the best example, imagine a classroom having chairs, empty chairs. If those empty chairs are there, you can imagine them as a free memory. The memory is not yet occupied, but when those chairs are taken by a student, or that means when someone sat on the table, on the chairs, so those memory space are taken, actually they are occupied, there's no space. So it's a way we create memory space to store data. So the more variables we create, actually we're occupying also the memory space. So the way we create, actually you may have seen var, let, and const. This is the way we create variable. Var is the old way, and if you use var, your chance of making mistakes is so high, and it's outdated. It works, no problem, but it needs high care. So we don't use outdated way of writing JavaScript. Instead, we stick into something modern, and we will focus let and const. At some point, I will clearly show you the difference between var, let, const. But if I try to explain the difference between the three now, it doesn't make sense because there are things which has to be clear first. Just forget about var and just let's get started with let and const. For instance, I want to store my name. If I want to store my name, I use a variable name, first name. So this first name is actually a placeholder, a memory space, a storage. So let's print my first name. Oh, sorry, I'm mixing Python now. Console.log first name. What do you expect from this? Why it's not? Have you seen? Undefined. Because even though I create a variable name, it doesn't have any value. Okay, did someone say something? Yeah, someone, what are these things called like console.log? Console.log is a method to print out something on the console. So it's a way to experiment, to test how things work. It is not the way we develop application, but it is the way to see what comes out when we do something. And this will be clear through time. Now, it's very hard to explain it, but it's the way to do. The way we do application is a bit different, and we will come to that. Maybe I think it's time to expand it. You will see it in the process, but the term is actually, it's just a method or a function which allows you to print out something on the console. As you can understand, it has also console.log, so a logout, to log out something or to print out something on the console. Yeah, so as you can see now, I got undefined, but if I assign a value, asabena, then the value will be printed out. Now we assign the value. Can we change the value later? For instance, maybe I changed my mind. First name, it's not actually Asabene, it is Donald J. Trump. Oh no, I jumped to politics so fast. Donald J. Trump. You know, I'm just changing the topic. Console.log, and everybody's aware now. First name. Okay, Donald J. Trump. So that means we assigned an initial value. If we want to change the value of that variable, we can change it at any time. Yeah. Okay. That's great. This is how. How about number? Let year to Is it compulsory to put let? Yes, it's compulsory. You should use let. Yes, let year. Yes, everybody now. The year is 2020, the best year ever we had. Console.log and year. So you see, yeah, maybe I think we're almost close to 2021. So let's imagine we change the year we have +1 actually. Can we do that? And print. Now I'm mixing Python console.log. I hope you pardon me for that. Okay, great. 2021. The way I did actually, I sum up and reassign the value to this again. So don't use this as equal sign. This equal sign, it's not the mathematics equal sign, okay? We call this sign assignment operator. So when we declare a variable, as you can see, we need let, it's a compulsory, and then the name of the variable, equal sign. So it's an assignment operator. We are asking this variable to store this name. Nothing to do equality, okay? Nothing to do equality here. It's not comparing. It's not comparing. Instead, we are asking, hey, first name, could you please store this value for a while? That's what we're asking here. Is that clear? Am I using too much jargon? I'm trying to avoid this jargon. But anyway, this is an assignment operator. The assignment operator is oh, yes, you don't put it will be global. It will be global. You can put, but that's not a very clean mark. You don't do that. It will be global and it will affect and it will be infectious. It's like corona. Oh yeah. So don't do that. It will be everywhere. It runs, your code runs, works, but it will be very infectious and it will be everywhere. So you don't do that. What is this mess? Okay, let's. So maybe all over again. I think whenever you declare a variable, you need let and name of variable name, and it should be camel case, and then you can assign it or you don't have to. Have you seen how I wrote the name of the variable? It should be camel case, name of. That is the hoop of the camel. Starts with small, capital, capital, capital. That's why we wrote first name, my name. Yes, and last late. A mark. What's the difference between late and var? I will come to that because it will confuse others. We will really go to the nitty gritty, what the difference between, but people didn't grip yet. So last name. So I wrote my first name and last name. That means I store my first name in this variable, my last name in this variable. How about full name? Full name. Let full name. I can add first name plus last name. Let's print, let's the value console.log full name. Have you seen my name? but it needs to have a separation between, right? So yeah, I use this empty. So this is also, even we can store that separately, late space like this. We store the space like this, and then we can call that space here, add space. The space added in between. We're a bit behind the schedule. Is it okay if we add 10 minutes? Yeah, the reason why we do is because you have to finish everything by 7 days, by 7 weeks, and I want you to have a very good understanding of JavaScript when we get done. Okay? And we've been waiting for some of the people, so let's find some excuse. Okay. Anyway, I hope you don't mind if we last for 10 minutes, 10 extra minutes. So we call this concatenation, okay? We call this concatenation, connecting two things. And it is the data type, as you can see, we are dealing with text so far. Now let's go to let A is equal to 10, but 10 is too big, right? How about 2? And let B is equal to 3. And let sum is equal to A plus B. Print console.log sum. What is the result of this? Who could tell me this line? Yeah, concatenation. Concatenation means merging two, connecting two strings. Yeah, we call it concatenation. Yeah. Yeah, let me show you something. Console.log con plus concatenation. Give us concatenation. Have you seen? Concatenation. This process, we call it concatenation. Great. Merging two things together. And as you can see, this is also, so far, we've been doing like this. We are not storing data. If you do just something like this, you are not storing data. But if you declare a variable like this, we declare variable A, we declare variable B, and then we declare variable sum. And then we add this and this together, and then they are stored here. What is the value of this? What is the sum? What's the result? Tell me. Of course, it's 5. It's clear. You see the answer. So it's going to be very easy. So how about the difference? The difference is equal to, how about B minus 2? And again, print, console.log difference. In another language, it's console.log means print, okay, guys? But I should see the console. Oh, I should see A, B minus A, and I'm expecting what cannot access diff. Why? What's the bug? 29. Who can debug my code? think it's div. Let's run it again. Yeah, I think there was no bug. Just there was no bug. Okay. Yes. Let's go for product. Let product is equal to A times B. Print console.log product. Yeah, it will yeah, I have to refresh it again. Yeah, 3 times 2 is 6. Let's see the quotient. Is that quotient or division? Yeah, division is much better. Quotient is a bit of very console.log, and the division of this by this, 3 divided by 2, we should get 1.5. Now let's go remainder. What's the remainder when b modulus 2? Or that means what's the remainder? B divided by 2. And everybody knows, and it's going to be, no, sorry, b divided by a. Yeah, it should give us, I didn't print the remainder yet, console.log remainder. So I'm expecting 3 by 2, and it's going to be 1. But why is it taking so long? Yes. Yeah. Is it getting clear how to declare a variable, guys? Is it just natural for you? Is it sound just good? Does it make sense the way I'm declaring variables? If you understand this is how you do things. It's just it's somehow similar to mathematics, a bit different. For instance, this equal sign is not equality. It doesn't. We are not equating. We are not comparing. Instead, we are asking that variable to store data, to contain data for us for some amount of time. Yeah. Is it clear, the explanation? I don't know, to be honest, because sometimes when you are also a beginner, this is the time you should also understand. And this is the fundamental. Yes?
Yes, it's understanding. No
Okay,
problem.
great. Yes, Maisa said, yes, I understand, but the late word isn't purple in my file. Oh, purple, that doesn't matter for that. It could be even different way. So let me just show you for that. Guys, we're really taking some time, but if you come to this, the color theme, do you see color theme? You go to the setting and color theme, and you can choose different. It could be light. For instance, mine is actually, I think, solarized light. Or you can just experiment, test the different theme, and you may get your own favorite. Yeah, it could be shade of purple or something like something good. So just experiment, change this different kind of theme. So yeah, that is easy to do. Okay, now exponent, let exponent of something, for instance, a, the power of b. What are you expecting from this? Before I printed it out, tell me what is the value of this. I call it this value just maybe c. What's the value of c? 8. That's great. It should be 8. Yeah, because the reason why it's delaying now, it's loading a file, a big file from the country's file. That's why it's taking some time. So, but remember, whenever you declare a variable, it should be a camel case. Have you seen my first name? No one, I mean, get wrong with this, because as you can see, first name, if it's a first name, what are you going to store there? Yeah, it's going to be a name. If it's the last name, what are you going to store there? It's going to be last name. So I want to ask you, if I say late country, what are you going to store? What do you expect here? What would be the answer? Tell me. Finland. How about late city? What are you expecting here? It could be Espoo or Helsinki. So it's already, your code should speak, okay? Sometimes avoid very, very ambiguous variable names. So try to be as creative as possible to come up with a very clear naming. I think they call it mnemonic naming. The name should tell by itself, and your code should be easy to read. It's like an English language. So you see, there's a first name, last name. So first name together with last name, it gives you a full name. So it's not anymore a code, actually. It's just an English language. So remember, use a very good name. Naming really matters for you, for the colleagues, and for anyone who reads your code. So, and we use in JavaScript camel case. I didn't mention a lot of things here. What is a valid variable name and which is not a valid variable name, because I already mentioned it in this material. So that's your task to go. You will go step by step and you will get everything what we did to actually, you have the recording and you have also the material. Do you remember this, guys? Do you remember this? I'm just giving you a hint, because after this lesson, also you should know where to go and where to revise it, because by revising, you make everything clear for yourself. Do you remember in line script, external script, internal script and external script are also here. Everything step by step is here. Now this is what I'm talking about, which is a valid variable name and which is not. It is everything here. And little exercise. You have here a little exercise. So it's better to do this. And then I think we didn't have time to cover the data types, and data types is actually very much. So I want you to read about data types for next time, and we will start from data types from here. And we will be in the same page, and it will be easy for you to follow when I use some terminology, some jargons. And since tomorrow, I mean next week, sorry for that, next week, since we're starting from data types, then we will go all the data types, the different data types. Actually, it's intensive in here. Operators, today we saw operators, but it's not enough, the arithmetic operators. And again, we may also use if conditions, loops, and maybe arrays too. So we may go a bit further. So I want you to read a little bit in advance. So what I want you to reply to me now, out of 10, what was your understanding today? How much did you get today out of 10? You just say, like you may express out of 10, how much did you understand what I taught today? That's great. Yeah, you should show something, because I improve. I love experimenting things, you know, and improving things through time, and it works for me. I have been doing this for so long, and the way the more I interact with the students, I think the more effective the teaching goes. So I think it seems that lots of people got what I try to convey today. I think that is a good success from both sides. And next week, you know what material to read. And this thing also, if it is stored, the recording, I will upload it on YouTube, and then I will share with you on the Telegram channel. If you are not in the Telegram channel, I strongly recommend you to be there. There will be exchange of information, and you will not miss it if you are there. So please, if you don't have any account, create an account. It's easy to create and be part of the Telegram group. And I think this is enough for today. And sorry for taking extra 15 minutes. Yeah, if you have also some feedback for improvement, you may leave on here. Maybe something you want me to improve for next time, you can leave it also there. So it's feel free to express your opinion, because it's just you are adding an input for improvement for next time. Okay, otherwise, as I told you, try to check JavaScript for everyone. And if you are really bold enough, and if you are like, if you want to really dive, just knock the 30 days of JavaScript challenge. That's what I would recommend. Great. And if you really manage to finish the 30 days of JavaScript challenge, actually you are in a position to apply a JavaScript job position, because it has everything you need for a JavaScript developer. Do you have any question?
No, thank you.
Thank you. All is understand, but I could not follow you. It's Yuri. I could not follow you with my computer, but in total, I understand